I had an interesting experience. I had myself an individual come into my chat a while back and start hitting me up about why I support trans people. And I was like, okay, this and this and this. But well, why are you hitting me up with that? I mean, that's not really what my channel is about. I mean, I support them totally, but that's not really what it was about. My channel is about. But we can agree. Now, I like my trans friends. I think they are some of the bravest people. You've got stones. I don't know if you got the stones or if you don't have stones, whichever. You've got more stones than I do. It doesn't matter. I mean, so having trans people, being support for that somehow, they're awesome. I think they're wonderful and they're brave. And then we're also now, because I wanted to lead with that. The reason why I wanted to lead with that, because I didn't want to lead with the whole their enemy is my enemy, Christians are after them, so I'm their friend. I didn't want to cheapen it by starting it with that and saying, hey guys, the only real reason why I like you is because the Christians are after you and I'm against the Christians. And if we fight together, we can start the Christians. Right? I didn't want to lead with that. It's true. The enemy of my enemy. You see where I'm going with this. So they asked me that and I was like, well, okay, I don't know why you're asking me that, but technically we're on the same side. And then I popped over to the Line and I was watching a show on the Line. And then kind of the deal was the question, the little poll like I give you at the beginning of the day was, is this mission creep for atheists to be defending trans people and trans rights? And that was the question. And in some of that conversation, if I'm remembering correctly, me, my friends, is it mission creep for atheists? And I thought, well, what the hell? This is here too. Why is this all of a sudden coming up? Well, then I found out that some other jackass and atheist apparently there's this rift in the jackass community. Yes, there's a rift in the jackass community. So there's a rift in the atheist community, apparently, about trans people. And there's so many reasons. There are so many reasons, my friends, why I don't understand it. I could go on about it. I want to, at first I was like, that ain't right. I don't think that can't be right. They didn't say that. And then they did say that. And then there's this other guy who I'm like, he didn't do that. And you know what? He did do that. I'm like, what the hell is going on with these people? What's wrong with you people? And I've got my trans friends, pardon me if I'm saying that wrong, but if I've got my trans friends who are literally, utterly concerned about what's going to happen with this next presidency, that their rights and their bodies and everything may be under threat. Legitimate, worrisome concerns. And people are coming and calling, is it mission creep? Well, what about human decency? What about just being a good person? And then now here's kind of where I'm going with all this, because maybe I'm screwed up here, but I am from an older generation. And there are things that I came into this modern world with, terms, things I use, phrases that are incorrect. I try to correct myself when I can. Whenever one of my friends tells me, hey, we don't use that term anymore, we use this term, or this is not correct, it's actually a term of hate that has been normalized that we don't use, I try to conform because, and so I was watching this thing, and while I was in this chat going, hey, people, talking about, I can't believe, I'm a supporter. What's mission creep? Blah, blah, blah. Same crap I was just spewing to you. And somebody in the chat said, hey, I stopped by your show one day and you said something misogynistic or no, anti-trans, and I just haven't been back. And I was like, what could I have possibly said? And it really bugged me for quite a while. And I went looking, and apparently, I don't know if they got modded out or they deleted their own comment or what happened. I don't know, but it was gone shortly thereafter. And then they were gone shortly thereafter. And I don't know what happened, but it bothered me greatly. And then I found out that person may have just been a troll and not to worry about it. And it still bothers me greatly. And I'll tell you why it bothers me greatly. Because I don't intend to do or say anything that would offend or harm any of my friends, whether they be trans, gay, lesbian. Well, occasionally I'll say all you brothers and sisters, and then I'll remember, and every beautiful thing in between, or whatever I'll say. You know what I mean? All you beautiful people. I'll try to be inclusive. But if I screw up because of my older tongue or my older ways or my older thinking or something, rather than just being some kind of jerk and you go, oh, hey, Chris said this, and I become another one of those jackasses on that list of anti-trans, whatever. I'm one of those that if you'll correct me, I will learn. Now, I'm not going to take everybody. If somebody corrects me on something, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my friends who I trust. I'm not going to take every jackass's internet advice and go, oh, wait, I shouldn't be doing this or I shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to go, hey, Ember, what about, could you guide me on that? Hey, Bree, would you mind giving me some advice? People who know. That's where I'm going to go. So I just want to mention, that's kind of this a very long story. And I know you're thinking, man, Chris has got to have some new anxiety meds if he could remember everything he was freaking talking about from the beginning to the end. And trust me, friends, I absolutely did not. It was a struggle for me to keep. I'm not really even sure what I'm talking about right now. Just know, though, if I ever do, seriously, all kidding aside, if I ever do accidentally offend any of my friends, except Pastor Dean, you let me know and I'll work on it. I'll make myself better. Thank you.